Canada and the United States have long enjoyed a close and multifaceted relationship. This partnership, rooted in shared values and geography, has shaped Canada's foreign policy for decades. The two countries share the world's longest undefended border and cooperate extensively on issues ranging from trade to defense. The United States is Canada's largest trading partner, and the two economies are deeply integrated. However, recent events have strained this historically strong bond, leading Canada to re-evaluate its foreign policy priorities. The close relationship between Canada and the United States has been a defining feature of Canadian foreign policy for generations. This partnership has brought significant economic benefits to Canada and ensured peace and stability along the border. Canadian leaders have traditionally prioritized close ties with the United States, recognizing the importance of the relationship for Canada's prosperity and security. However, the evolving geopolitical landscape and recent challenges in the bilateral relationship have prompted Canada to seek a more independent and diversified foreign policy approach. Canada's decision to explore closer ties with Europe is not a rejection of the United States, but rather a recognition of the need to diversify its partnerships and pursue its interests on the global stage. The world is becoming increasingly multipolar, with new centers of power emerging. Canada recognizes the importance of engaging with a wider range of partners to advance its interests and values. This shift in Canadian foreign policy reflects a pragmatic approach to navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The changing dynamics in the relationship between Canada and the United States have created an opportunity for Canada to redefine its place in the world. While maintaining a strong relationship with the United States remains a priority for Canada, the country is increasingly looking beyond its southern border to forge new partnerships and strengthen existing ones. This shift in Canadian foreign policy is driven by a desire to promote its interests and values on the global stage and adapt to a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. In a surprising turn of events, Mark Carney, a renowned figure in global finance, emerged as Canada's Prime Minister in 2024. Carney, who had previously served as the governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, brought with him a wealth of experience in international economics and diplomacy. His deep understanding of global affairs, honed through years of navigating financial crises and engaging with world leaders, positioned him as a compelling candidate to lead Canada through a period of geopolitical uncertainty. Carney's decision to enter politics was driven by a sense of duty and a desire to serve his country. Having witnessed firsthand the interconnectedness of global challenges, he recognized the need for strong and decisive leadership on the world stage. His experience in steering central banks through turbulent economic times, particularly during the 2008 financial crisis, earned him a reputation for steady and pragmatic leadership. These qualities resonated with Canadians, who were seeking stability and direction in an increasingly complex world. Carney's appointment as Prime Minister signaled a potential shift in Canadian foreign policy. His international background and reputation as a skilled negotiator suggested a more outward-looking approach, focused on strengthening relationships with key allies and navigating the complexities of a multipolar world. His experience in managing complex organizations and building consensus among diverse stakeholders would prove invaluable as he sought to advance Canada's interests on the global stage. The transition from finance to foreign policy, while seemingly unexpected, highlighted the interconnected nature of global challenges. Carney's deep understanding of international economics and his experience in engaging with world leaders provided him with a unique perspective on the forces shaping the 21st century. His leadership marked a departure from traditional Canadian foreign policy, signaling a more assertive and globally engaged approach. In a symbolic gesture, Prime Minister Carney chose Europe as the destination for his first official trip abroad. This decision underscored the importance his government placed on strengthening ties with European partners. Carney's itinerary included meetings with key European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and King Charles III. These high-level engagements provided an opportunity for Carney to articulate his vision for a renewed transatlantic partnership and explore areas of mutual interest. The meetings focused on enhancing cooperation on a wide range of issues, including trade, defense, and climate change. Carney emphasized the shared values and interests that united Canada and its European allies, highlighting the importance of working together to address global challenges. He expressed Canada's commitment to strengthening European security, and reiterated its support for Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression. The trip was widely seen as a success, laying the groundwork for closer collaboration between Canada and Europe. Carney's European tour marked a clear departure from the previous government's focus on the United States. While maintaining strong ties with the United States remained a priority, Carney's government sought to diversify Canada's partnerships and pursue a more independent foreign policy. This shift reflected a recognition of the growing importance of Europe as a global actor and the need for Canada to engage more actively in transatlantic affairs. The warm reception Carney received from European leaders underscored the potential for a strengthened transatlantic partnership. Canada's commitment to multilateralism, its experience in peacekeeping and development assistance, and its role as a reliable energy supplier made it an attractive partner for European countries. Carney's European debut signaled a new chapter in Canada's foreign policy, one characterized by a more outward-looking and globally engaged approach. Canada's pivot towards Europe was in part a response to growing tensions with the United States. The relationship between the two North American neighbors, while historically close, had faced significant challenges in recent years. The presidency of Donald Trump in particular had strained the relationship, leaving a legacy of mistrust and uncertainty. Trump's protectionist trade policies, his withdrawal from key international agreements, and his often disparaging remarks about Canada had eroded goodwill and raised questions about the future of the bilateral partnership. The Trump administration's imposition of tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, under the guise of national security concerns, had been a major point of contention. Canada retaliated with tariffs of its own, targeting key American products. The trade dispute, while eventually resolved, left a bitter aftertaste and highlighted the vulnerability of Canada's economy to American protectionism. Canadian businesses and consumers felt the impact of the tariffs, underscoring the deep economic integration between the two countries and the potential costs of a trade war. Beyond trade, Trump's America First foreign policy had also created friction. His decision to withdraw the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a trade agreement that Canada had been a party to, was seen as a blow to Canadian economic interests. Trump's skepticism of multilateral institutions, such as NATO and the World Trade Organization, further strained the relationship, as Canada had long been a strong supporter of the rules-based international order. The Trump era had exposed the limitations of Canada's traditional reliance on the United States. While the two countries continued to cooperate on many fronts, the relationship had become more transactional and less predictable. This realization prompted a reassessment of Canadian foreign policy, leading to a greater emphasis on diversifying partnerships and pursuing a more independent course in world affairs.